Authentically Wrong, lecture number 3, Uncomfortable Truth. What is objective truth? Before we dive into this topic, it might be helpful if we could more clearly define the difference between a subjective claim and an objective claim. A subjective claim is a personal and private claim that depends upon the beliefs of an individual. An objective claim is a claim about the external world independent of what someone believes. Let's bring some more clarity to this. I've actually heard Dr. Sean McDowell, a professor at Biola University and a Christian apologist, give an excellent lecture about this exact thing. I want to give you some of the same examples that he gave in his lecture. The claim that Coke tastes better than Pepsi is a subjective claim. Why? Well, because this is a claim based upon my personal experience with the product and not about the physical properties of the product. It's a claim about personal preference and not about the external world, independent of what I believe. Let's try another one. The claim that Diet Coke has less calories than regular Coke is an objective claim. Why? Because this is not a claim that is dependent upon my experience with it, but is a claim based on the physical properties of the product. It is a claim about the external world independent of what I believe and not about personal preference. Now, just to make things really clear, I'm going to ask you, is the following statement objective or subjective? Caleb, that's me, can bench press 300 pounds. Now, what kind of claim is this? Is it objective or subjective? I'm going to wait a moment. Go ahead in the comments below. If you think it's objective, write objective. If you think it's subjective, write subjective. You can pause the video if you want or write the comment as I'm talking right now. The statement that Caleb, me, that I can bench 300 pounds, is that an objective claim or a subjective claim? Okay, here you go. It's an objective claim. Why? Well, because either I can or I cannot. It is not about my or anyone's personal opinion on the subject. In fact, we can even test it. And let me just go ahead and answer that for you. No, I cannot bench press 300 pounds. And maybe that was kind of obvious. I should hope that was kind of obvious. But we could even test it. We could go to the gym and then you would see that I cannot bench press 300 pounds. We can objectively determine that it's true that I cannot. Now, some other objective claims we could make would be Abraham Lincoln was the first president of the United States. The Earth is the center of the solar system. 2 + 2 = 13. All of these claims are objective claims. These are claims about the external world and not about personal preference. And all of the examples that I just gave, they should be easy to spot as an objective claim because we should have noticed that all of them were false claims. You could research and test these and determine that these are false claims. If they were subjective claims, you would not be able to say that any of them were false. So this brings us back to the question, what is objective truth? To say that something is objectively true is to say that an objective claim has been verified as truth. It in no way is based upon private personal experience or preference. This idea of objective truth has, in some circles and for some people, increasingly become an unliked idea, especially here in the West. Now, I can admit that I have not always been comfortable with truth. And some of you who know me might know this. In fact, I used to be of the mindset that I would rather blindly hold to dogma and tradition than to have to deal with that messy thing called truth. That does not mean that all dogma or tradition is untrue, but I was definitely unwilling to follow the truth to see where it leads. I mean, to this day, the truth can make anyone uncomfortable, including myself. But if the truth is the most important thing to know and to pursue, we must embrace a certain level of discomfort. Speaking of discomfort, here's another question. Is the following claim an objective claim or a subjective claim? Rape is wrong. This is a claim about morality. Is morality subjective or objective? I would assume that you all listening to this podcast and watching this episode believe this is not only an objective claim, but that it is an objective moral truth that rape is wrong. What about this claim? Murder is wrong. Is that a subjective claim or an objective claim? Is murder being wrong a matter of personal preference or an objective truth? Once again, I would hope that we would agree that it is an objective moral truth that murder is wrong. The next claim is an incredibly divisive and emotional subject, and it brings about a whole bunch of passionate reactions, and I understand that. All I ask is that you please don't turn me off and be willing to follow the truth wherever it leads. If the truth is what truly is important, let's pursue it together. Is the following claim an objective claim or a subjective claim? Abortion is murder. Now, don't shut it off. Just wait a moment. Answer the question. Is this an objective claim or a subjective claim? Abortion is either murder or it is not. We must stop treating it like a subjective opinion about a personal preference, a personal favorite movie, or food. What is the objective truth on this issue?